slam on the brakes. Let's do it right here.
Oh yeah. Look at that. That is awesome. Super, super, super good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hot day, 90 degrees out. Wait until it gets a little bit cooler. We are going to be doing an install, a how-to video, not on the MR2 Spider, which I wish, not on the CELICA GTS turboed, but on my beat up FRS. So I have a 2014 Scion FRS. I call it my cash car. First off, we gotta not just skip over this. So went a little fast on the highway and the entire grill just popped out and got sucked underneath the car and went bye-bye. Hilarious. So I gotta get a new grill. I also have to get a new little tow hook because I removed that. There's a license plate there. I also need side markers, and then I also need I want the OEM little turn indicator covers. I think they look way better than those little rings. A lot of work aesthetically. Also, there's some dents on the car. Need to get the dent pulled. And there's a dent pull. Need a dent right here and right here. And on the fender needs replaced. So I got dents, which I can't wait to get pulled out. But before we do that, a couple things that I need to do. One, I got to make sure that the car continues to drive, because I don't want to work on it and invest more money into it if it just blows up. I have done an oil change on it. We did the intake on it, new wheels on it, wheel spacers. So first off, it needs brakes bad. So we're going to be installing brakes today. I'm going to do a bolt by bolt, show you guys how to do that. Then we're going to need to do a clutch. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a clutch at home, DIY. It'll probably take like a weekend or so. And then we'll get the dents repaired. Then we'll get the little body parts. Then we'll get a kit for it. And then I might get a little bit of paint on it. We'll see what I need to do. I'm not sure. And then we're going to boost it. I got to boost it. I boost everything. Boosted. Evo's boosted. Boost. So that'll be like maybe like 12 months from now. We'll see. Hopefully I can speed it up and get it done quicker. So that being said, we need, for the new power that we're going to be putting on this car, we're going to need nice brakes. So let's go bring the car into the garage and we'll start the process to put it up on jack stands, and I'll show you guys how to install brakes on a 2013 to 2021 BRZ FRS GT86. So let's jump right into it. Absolutely love all the room for all the activities. So let's put this on jack stands and pull these wheels off on all four sides. So we'll put the whole car up on jacks. Car's on jack stands all four way around. I do recommend doing all four at the same time. It's cooler. I mean, look, cool car. The car can fly. It looks so much cooler. Okay, let's buzz off the wheels. Now, if you didn't loosen them before, you'll have to have someone push the brakes while you do lefty-loosey, or if you have an impact, you should be able to buzz them off. But it is a good idea to loosen the wheel lugs before you put the car up. Follow my recommendations. You may have wheel spacers on there. It's another shot. You will want to remove those wheel spacers. 19 millimeter in my case, and you just put it on here, and you just take all 5 of those off, and then you can move the wheel spacer. Okay, so next there's going to be a 14 here and a 14 here, and then it's the caliper cover right here. This will come up, set it on top of here, just get it out of the way, and now you actually have access to your brake pads and whatnot. There, I think, are 2 more sets of 14s, I believe, on the back set here, and then that will move the bracket. So let's remove the bracket, and then you can bang this off with a sledgehammer, which I'm probably going to do, or there'll be a bolt where you can screw a nut in, or a little hole where you can screw a bolt in. Once the disc is off, I'm gonna show you, this is how your e-brake works, if you guys didn't know here. So around the e-brake, right here, it actually springs and pushes out against the inside of the rotor, and that's like how you lock it up and drift. There is a power slide, I guess. There is a little notch right here, so when you do put the new one on, if you need to tighten the e-brake, you want to get it tight, but you don't want it to prevent the wheel from spinning free, if that makes sense, and I'll show you that. So we're gonna clean this up a little bit, and then I'm gonna clean right here with my little wire brush and clean all around the shield and whatnot, and then we'll set the new disc brake on, and then we'll start with the caliper. This one had really a lot of, I guess it was just the front. Those pads are like brand new. So I guess the front ones just aren't done, but that's okay. I like replacing all at the same time, especially with good quality parts. New rotor is set on there. I probably will end up painting this black because you're gonna have the wheel sit here and you don't want this big giant thing here. So usually what I do, I've done it a million times, is you get an enamel paint, high temp enamel paint, and then you cover this right here with tape and then hit that. And actually it is a good surface to do it while it's on here because you can rotate it and then hit it here, rotate it and hit it here. Make sure that this is aligned with that little sprocket inside of there so you can actually see the sprocket. Otherwise, when you go to tighten it, you're not gonna have a way to do it. And then you're gonna also wanna take your old little boot cover here, the little rubber cover, and transfer it over to the other one. Always a good idea if they give you the little brackets, even if they don't get it, to get new ones, change them out. So what you do with these ones is you just kind of pull on here, it'll pop out. This one doesn't seem to want to. There we go. And once you get it out like that, what I do is I always have a wire brush, red and black, of course me. And I wire brush in here and clean that. And then I install the provided one and it just sits right in here like that. And then you just match up the new brake pads. Use a little bit of grease on this corner, and then inside of here, because the brake does move in and out of there and you don't want it squeaking. Not have one of these, you gotta get one of these at your local auto parts store. What it is, it's like a compression brake. So all you do is you put it in there and then you ratchet it and it just separates and pushes the caliper back into that little cylinder inside there. Amazing, I use it on all my cars. Pretty sure it's like 20 bucks, $19.99 or something like that. Really good if you're gonna own a bunch of cars like I do. Once you're back, all you gotta do is just reverse your steps. So you mounted the brakes, you do the 14 millimeter and connect it to the bracket onto the hub. And then once the hub is here and the bracket's back like you had it before with the new brakes, the grease on it, you then put the 14 millimeter here, 14 millimeter here. It's funny, it says Subaru right here. One of the things that make sure to do is you do want to re-lubricate these right here because these pins do slide back and forth. That's how the brake works, like that. So that make sure that's lubricated. Will we paint this in this video? No, I do want to, but I'm not going to. We should be good to go. If you do, make sure you put a little cap back on here. If you do need to retighten the e-brake, all you do is take a flathead and flick it in there like that. And righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And as you tighten it, it will make it really hard to spin. You don't want it too tight, otherwise you'll be dragging the e-brake and slow you down. And you ain't got enough torque in the FRS to outweigh that. I'm just kidding, but seriously, you don't want to be dragging on your new brake pads. That one brake done, pretty easy. This is like maybe a 2-star. A 1-star is like sticking something on. 2 stars probably like brakes. 3 stars. 3 stars maybe like an intake, 4 stars like transmission, 5 stars like turbo kit build. Okay, so here's the old junky one. We're gonna move on to that one, and then here's the nice rear one. Probably 45 minutes to do this. Front one, all you gotta do is there's two 14 millimeters right up at the top of this guy. Pull the two 14 millimeters off, two 17 millimeters that come into the back of this that hold it in right here. And then once that's off, you can get the bracket off. And there's the bracket. And once the bracket's off, same thing. You're gonna clean it, install the new pads, and then grease them. This one's a little bit different though, because this is just kind of like a wheel bearing. It is just a wheel bearing here. There is no drum brake, the e-brake on there. So this one usually does come off, and you don't need to bang it off or use the threaded center to get it off. They usually just come off. Again, we'll clean this with the wire brush and slap the new one on, and then compress these back right here with that little tool. That's my favorite little ratchet tool. Other than that, it's very simple. I usually think that the fronts are usually easier, in my opinion. Interesting, you can see this, I believe this is called the overpipe. It's a stock one right there. I haven't even touched the exhaust system on this car. It's just so loud. It sounds good. It's a works exhaust, but I believe from The header to the overpipe and then into the works exhaust is all OEM. So it's gonna be fun to slap a turbo on this thing. I think it'll be really easy to boost this car. So I'm excited for it. We will be dropping majority of that though, because we're gonna do the clutch very soon. I think it's really important, always line these up. So these with the extended brackets come here, the shorter brackets come up to the front. Just match what's already on the car. It's very simple. This will go in like that with the warning and the little squeaker tells you if your brake pads are shot, and then this one will go right there. And it's really easy to just mimic what was already on there, so just take it off and then set it back right on the same way. Number 2 assembled, same thing, or front. All you gotta do is literally just reverse the steps. So very simple. This is a 14 millimeter, a 17, two 14 millimeters, two 17 millimeters. Pull that off, replace the pads. The rotor should just come off. If the rotor doesn't come off, you are more than welcome to use a sledgehammer and just bang on it because you're discarding the old rotor, and then slide the new ones on here. Pretty affordable for brakes and rotors on the FRS. Some brakes and rotors, I mean, they're very expensive. These are, I can't remember the cost, but I'm saying they're below $500, so maybe $125 a corner. So that's quite reasonable. There's the old junky ones, so let's pull this side off and do this side. And literally, it's the same process. Rear is going to be two 14 millimeters. This one you're probably going to want to bang off or use a thread pitch to pull it. Definitely one of the things that you should buy, if you don't have this, before you start this job, is this little compression tool. It's super easy, super affordable, and it looks just like this. It spins, you extend it all the way out, and then you can just ratchet it on, and it pushes the pistons back into the socket, and then you're good to go. So really recommend this. This is my favorite tool. But like all brake jobs, it's about 2 to 3 hours to do. There's an ugly fender. I gotta rip that thing off. Pretty easy on the second side. I always think it is because you've gotten it down. Most cars are all very similar. This is a very simple, definitely 2-star, easy. You can do this. You don't need to pay anyone. The tools here and the parts will be more affordable than a brake shop. But if you want a brake shop to do it, you can. I just think that this is definitely very doable, very easy. The car's back down. Again, 2-ish hours. You can do this. Comment down below if you have questions. Pretty much a 14 millimeters and 4 17 millimeters. It looks pretty good because they are new and shiny. Things that I think I'm going to do is I think I might do the calipers in black. I think that's pretty aesthetic. I'll do that. I do need new tail lights. Again, there's just tons of projects. We just needed to make this so that the car's safe to drive. I think the front brakes are pretty shot on one of them. So let's go ahead and take it for a test drive right now, and we'll go for a drive.
You don't have to drive it at night like I am, but maybe if it took you this long. So after you do the install and get it done, a lot of people don't tell you like how to break them in. It's break them in, get it, brakes. So a good thing is to, before you take off, pump the brake a few times and get the pressure back in there because the fluid will be off. So you want to get the fluid back in there. And then the next is you want to go for a good spirited driving, and you want the brakes to sit. So we're going to come up to the stop, and you really want to push into the brakes here and I'm feeling them sit right there. And you do want to do it like 5 times. So we'll do another takeoff here, and then we'll put the brakes on. So let's come out here and we'll take it off real quick here. They're good. They're nice. So they do feel like they've sat right there, so that's the second time. So I'm going to keep on doing this for about 5 times till they're completed, and then I'll let you guys know how the brake feels afterwards. Okay, so the pads are really good. I like them. Definitely recommend this. I'll have the brand link below for you guys, but overall, pretty easy install. If your brakes are making squeaky noise like mine were, definitely change or look at them. Make sure you have any life left. There might be a rock or something. And then I do recommend, for the cost, changing your pads and your rotors. It's just a new modern thing that everyone does. I know it's a late night video. Make sure to like, subscribe, swingbymitch.com. Let's get on this FRS. I'm excited to get some good content. Let's get this thing boosted. We now have the braking power. All right, you guys ready? We're gonna do a slam on the brakes. Let's do it right here. Oh yeah. Look at that. That was awesome. Super, super, super good. Like, subscribe, swingbymitch.com.